Hello everyone. What I want to talk about was to think about the independent retail sector. It's a hugely important part of retailing. It's very much the lifeblood where we see new ideas and the sort of really interesting ideas on our high streets up and down the UK. But what I want to look at was kind of the kind of background, the context for how you see retailing today. So I was really interested to get your views. You're trading, in some cases like Mark, you're trading nationally. Just really interested to get your sense of how retailing feels to you and what are the challenges.
Well, I think the economy is important, of course, but running a relatively small business, then if the economy is up 0.5% or down 0.5%, it generates huge headlines. But fundamentally, what we're doing is much more important to what happens to us, I think, than the external factors. And if the economy is going well, then hopefully there are more people with more money coming through the doors. But on the flip, if the economy is not going so well, then there might be more opportunities to expand. Rents might be a bit cheaper, and so there are positives from that too. But overall, we've been trading well recently and for the last couple of years, and I see no reason why that's likely to change.
But nationally, do you really feel that sense that the multiples, as we keep reading, are retrenching? Many of them, from food to the large-scale fashion operators, are trying to reduce and get out of leases just because of the cost of their business. So are you benefiting from that? Are you seeing that?
We definitely have picked up shops from people who have retrenched. We've got 8 shops that used to be Woolworths in some of the sort of coastal towns and market towns that we like trading in. Some of these smaller towns are actually doing quite well. I think this story of death of the high street has been massively oversold, really.
So, Piers and Sally, to bring you relatively new businesses, so presumably you looked at the retail market and thought now is the right time to open? Was it driven by a sense of the economic climate, the retail climate? Or?
I think for me it was as we were talking about opportunities, looking at what retail premises were available, and because I didn't have a history of having previous stores, I thought that was a good time to be able to get in. Whereas it's much more competitive at different times.
It's always a good time. It's always a bad time. You are dictated to by what is going on around you at the time. We haven't been trading a year yet. We're an online business, and it wasn't much about the time was right for me and my business partners as it was about this is a perfect time to go and launch an e-commerce business and let's go for it. We will learn. We will evolve. There will be expansion and contractions, as there always have been in the economy and on a national and on a global level. It's understanding that you have your business model in place to allow for that and knowing what your plan is to really take things forward and evolve and grow.
Yeah. So Lisa, your business is 3 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
So how have you seen that last 3 years?
Well, I launched my women's wear boutique in 2012, during boom days. Apparently some of the brands demanded really big minimum orders, which as a small independent boutique setting up would be a nightmare. When I set up, I was able to dismiss a lot of those minimum orders, and they were just so happy to have you representing their brand.
In a way, also that's really good for you because you're not over-committing to anything. It means that you can learn as you're going along rather than buying loads into one brand or one style or one colourway or whatever it is.
Definitely.
It's giving you better flexibility, isn't it?
Yeah, and starting out, independents need to keep their stock very tight.
Yeah.
And their costs low. So yeah, there's definitely, I think there's been a lot of positives for the recession it's led.
So would you say now is a really good time for someone to think about starting an independent business? Is the background the perfect opportunity?
I think as multiples continue to grow, I think especially in the fashion industry, there are more and more consumers are looking for something that's different. That brands offer something different. They're looking for a more personal service, and I think there's real opportunity for independence, definitely in the fashion sector.
So, Piers, with your business, you're coming in with an edited sort of a niche business that sort of cuts through and allows people to shop online.
Oh, absolutely. We're not just a website, we are an e-commerce company, and it's only going to expand and grow and evolve. And as long as we keep up to date with that, then that should be a very big plus for us to take us forward. We will probably look at things a different way of how to go onto the high street further down the line. But for us, this is a great opportunity and a good time.
Yeah, yeah. To help draw some strands, Mark, how would you conclude in terms of offering advice to anyone thinking about should I launch an independent business, and all they may have read about how tough it is or has been?
Well, I would always advise nearly everyone to start and see how it goes and be flexible enough to change tack depending on the results. But one of the things about the current market is that it's much easier to get a tenant-friendly, flexible lease than it used to be, and I think that's a great opportunity to start a business.
Thanks, everyone. I mean, sort of hearing messages that yes, the economy is always important, and it's certainly more benign now. But equally, a good independent is about understanding and discovering a niche that they can serve customers and really build on that. And I think, Lisa, as you said, people are looking for something new and a bit different. It's cuts through what you can find up and down high streets. So thank you all very much for that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.